What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your Umbrella Spear community leader, the Umbrella Roster 97 here, and I'm back here with another live stream. You have read that title. So, in today's live stream, I'm going to be reviewing 2025's Lilo and Stitch. You heard it right here, folks. Today, I will be doing a film review on this particular movie. But anyways, one thing that I do want to be saying is let me go ahead and get the party started. So let me go ahead and see if I can actually activate my live chat so that way I can actually talk about this film, Lilo and Stitch. Yep. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that there will be some people in the live chat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and see who's in the live chat right here, right now. Hey Daniel G, what's up, man? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Daniel Z. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for some people so that way I can actually get started with this review, or should I say, film review, because this is actually a particular film that I do want to be talking about. So yeah, and one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I think I might just consider doing these types of, streams whenever I do film reviews and stuff like that. So I just figure I just want to just do it. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more comments in the live chat. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Daniel Z is. I believe he's gonna be saying. I'm going to ice cream place soon. So I see. All I can really say as of right now, Daniel Z, is you're more than welcome to try out any fast food restaurant that you actually want to try out. But all I can really say as of right now, Daniel Z, is do what you got to do whenever it comes to like fast food restaurants. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But yeah. But there is one thing that I do want to be addressing in regards to you, Daniel Z, is I'm not quite sure if you're going to be thinking about, doing some fast food reviews or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know. But you're more than welcome to do whatever you want, Daniel Z, because, you do have the legal right to do whatever that you want to be doing. So that's one thing that I do want to clarify to you. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Daniel Z is going to be saying right here, right now. Ready for my birthday stream next Thursday. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now, Daniel D, is I do believe we had conversations like this behind the scenes, but all I can really say as of right now is we will figure that out when it comes to your birthday stream, but keep this in mind. I'm not gonna say too much details and stuff like that, but one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Daniel Z, is I think it's far better if we were both on a live stream together. So that's one thing that I want to say in particular. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. But let me go ahead and see if I can get to some comments really quick in the live chat. So just give me 1 second really quick. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Daniel G is saying right here, right now. It's on the 10th. Oh, okay, then. All I can really say as of right now, Daniel G, is what a coincidence. It's like that's, when my birthday is actually going to be. But I think it's just far better if we were both on a, live stream together. But I think, in my own personal opinion, I should do it. So that way I can have, more and more people to actually join my, live streams every now and then. I mean, yes, granted, you do have the legal right, Daniel G, but I just figured that I want to do it. So, more people the merrier, as as some people would actually be saying it. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more comments really quick in the live chat. So just give me 1 second really quick. So, and I do apologize if I happen to miss some. So yeah, but anyways, let me go ahead and see who's in live chat right here, right now. We've got Sonny the Scene Girl. How's it going? Anyways, all I can really say as of right now is it's good to see you right now, Sonia. But let me go ahead and put this in the live chat because for some strange reason I'm not seeing certain comments really quick. Like I'm not seeing it on my end when it comes to streamer, but I can see it in the YouTube live chat, which is actually kind of strange, by the way. So let me just go ahead and put this in the live chat really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick. So, anyways, there we go. I just put it in the live chat. So hopefully that some people or this person is able to see it because this is like really strange on my part. But yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and see what you're saying right now, Sonia. I loved the Lilo and Stitch movie. Yeah, same here. All I can really say as of right now, Sonia, is I actually did enjoy that particular movie. I mean, one thing that I want to say in regards to 2025's Lilo and Stitch is, granted, it is a remake of the original animated movie, but one thing that I want to say though is they have made some changes, but at least they were able to stay close to the source material. So that's one thing that I want to give credit when it comes to, Lilo and Stitch, the remake. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Yep. But one thing that I do want to be saying right now, Sonia, is hopefully that you did enjoy the movie because you did say that you just loved it. But, you know, in my own personal opinion, I would say it's somewhere between either decent or good. I'm not quite sure how I would give it a rating. But one thing that I want to say, though, that's for certain, though, is at least this film was able to stay close to the source material. So, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't this film, is going good when it comes to box office wise? Because from what I'm actually hearing as of right now, Sonia, is I'm actually hearing that this film is actually doing pretty well when it comes to box office wise. So, yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say in regards to that particular film. But one thing that I do want to say as of right now, Sonia, is there has been some rumors that they might consider making a sequel because of the success of the first film, but who knows what will happen. So I just never thought that this film would actually be a success, like when it comes to commercial wise, box office wise, you could say. So I will give credit when it comes to when Disney actually made that particular film. So I mean, I don't mind like Disney remakes every now and then, but at the same time, they have to make them, great in my own personal opinion. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. I mean, this film may not be all that perfect, but at least they actually tried to stay with the source material. So that's one credit where I will give Disney for. But if I'm gonna be honest, I just think that Disney needs to try to cut back on making, live action remakes, if anything. I mean, they could try it, but at the same time, just try to stick with the source material and not make so many changes. That's one thing that I can actually notice when it comes to Disney is there are times where they just, make certain changes, and that's not even good. Like, if I'm gonna be for real on this, that's not even good to make so many changes when it comes to, live action remakes. Like it honestly isn't. So this is just my own personal opinion. Okay, so I can see that someone's actually trying to call me on Facebook Messenger. So one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm actually doing a live stream as we speak right now. So I don't want to get too distracted. So I'm just going to just ignore my Facebook Messenger DMs because I don't want to focus too much into that. But one thing that I do want to say, though, that's for certain, though, is if there is a slight possibility, and if people actually want to say their opinion when it comes to this particular movie, 2025 Lilo and Stitch, then I might just consider inviting some of you people into the streamer panel, but who knows? But not right now, though, but in a little while, though. So that's one thing that I want to say in regards to that. But one thing that I want to say though, that's for certain though, is if so many people haven't seen this film, then I would highly recommend that you actually check out this particular film. because one thing that I want to give credit is this film may not be all that perfect, but at least they actually tried to stick with the source material. So that's one, credit where I have to give to Disney in a way. But in my own personal opinion, just try to make like better remakes, if anything. So that's one thing that I do want to say. Yep. But let me go ahead and see if there's gonna be. Wait, hold on, just a second. Okay. All I can really say as of right now is I'm receiving some certain DMs right now, but I'm not gonna get into that because I'm not trying to focus too much on my DMs because I want to focus on this live stream. So that's one thing that I do want to say. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some people that will be in the live chat, so that way they can actually express themselves. And if some people want to have a chance to say their piece, then they are more than welcome to do so. But just let me know, and I'd be happy to send out the streamer link, no problem. Yep. But one thing that I want to give credit is I'm not quite sure who plays like the character Lilo, but I have to give credit to the actress because I guess you could say that she is somewhat similar to, Lilo's animated counterpart. So yeah, I want to give credit to some of the actors for actually trying to stay close to their counterparts, of the animated movie. But if I'm gonna be honest, in my own personal opinion, I don't necessarily hate the live action remake, but I would just go for the original animated movie because, well, it's original and they just had more things than the live action movie. I mean, I got nothing against it, but it's somewhere between either decent or good. But this is just my own personal opinion when it comes to 2025's Lilo and Stitch. So hopefully that some people can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. But I'm not quite sure if I have some people who are moviegoers, but if so many people actually just want to have a chance to join my streamer panel, then again, I just wouldn't have an issue if you people have the chance to be joining. So that's one thing that I do want to say, but I'm not quite sure what else to be talking about besides this particular film review. I mean, one thing that I do want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is it's either decent or good in my own personal opinion. But one thing that I want to say is if people like Sonic the Scene Girl actually do love this movie, then I just, have to respect her opinion. Yep. But in my own personal opinion, I would say that this film is definitely worth watching though. But in my own personal opinion, I highly recommend that you actually check out the animated movie before actually checking out the live action remake. But in my own personal opinion, I would just go with the animated movie. So that's just my own opinion. But if some people would rather prefer the live action movie, then I could definitely respect their opinion. But this is just my own personal opinion. So that's one thing that I want to say in regards to that. So yeah. But one thing that I do want to be saying though is I'm just gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more people in the live chat, but I think they could be busy as of right now. But just let me just take a quick look really quick. Okay, so this is one thing that I do want to check up on. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. Okay, so one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is I just want to go ahead and just make sure if some people are gonna be in the live chat, so that way they can actually express themselves when it comes to this film review. But if not a lot of people are gonna be joining, then there's nothing really I can do anything about that. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I'm pretty sure that I want to keep this live stream going because, I at least want to have Topic Friday because, this is, a topic that I should be able to talk about on my channel, on my main channel, and that is film reviews in a way. So this is something that I actually want to try something out. So if I do see like any particular film that I actually enjoy, then I just might consider just doing some more film reviews. So I think I just might consider, by doing that in a way. I mean, I'll tell you this though, it's a lot more better than a drama stream, if anything. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna address. I'm not gonna be addressing drama whatsoever because this is a film review, you could say. But anyways, let me go and see who's in live chat right here, right now. We've got Olivia Rodrigo fan, aka Libby fan. How's it going? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Livy. So all I can really say as of right now, Livy, is hopefully that you are doing well for yourself. But one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now is I'm not quite sure if films are actually your thing, but I'm just doing a film review in regards to this particular film, and that is 2025's Lilo and Stitch, though. So I'm not quite sure if you have seen it though, but you're more than welcome to actually express yourself in the live chat if you actually want to right now, Livy. So yeah, but I'm not quite sure if you have seen this particular film, but you could say your piece in the live chat if you actually want to. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Livy is gonna be saying in the live chat right here, right now. Doing good. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now, Livy, is that's good to hear that you're actually doing good for yourself. But yeah. But anyways, I do believe that I just asked you a question just now, Livy. So my question to you is, have you seen this particular film, 2025's Lilo and Stitch? But if you haven't yet, then I would recommend that you actually check it out. Or as a matter of fact, I would highly recommend that you actually check it out. But yeah. But it's just a simple question, Livy. Like if you have seen this particular film or if you haven't yet. But you're more than welcome to say your piece in the live chat if you actually want to, though. So if you happen to say your piece in live chat, then I'm gonna go in and actually check it out though. And yeah, I guess we can just talk about it. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Livy is gonna be saying in the live chat right here, right now. Never seen it. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now, Libby, is I'm not quite sure if you're into films, but if you actually are, then I would recommend that you actually check out this particular film. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I do have a quick update for you, Livy. So I do believe the main actress that played Lilo. So you're actually going to like this in a way, and I will be addressing it in just a bit. So I guess you could say that I forgot what the actress's name is, but I guess you could say that she is a fan of a particular, musical artist, which I will get to in just a second. So yeah. So that's one thing that I want to be saying as of right now, Livy. So I'm gonna go to see if I can actually, say it really quick. Okay. So one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Livy, so one thing that I want to be saying right now is it turns out, and you're actually going to be liking this, is the main actress that actually played Lilo, you're actually going to be liking this. And she is a fan of this particular musical artist. And that musical artist is none other than Olivia Rodrigo. I do believe that this actress has said that she actually expressed herself and she's like a fan of Olivia Rodrigo. So I just never thought that she would be into Olivia Rodrigo's music in a way. I mean, one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is when it comes to Olivia Rodrigo's his fan base, I do believe it's called the Livies. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, they are called the Livies. So one thing that I want to say is in regards to the Livies, which is Olivia Rodrigo's his fan base, is I could consider myself like a Livy, but more or less just an ally. I'm not going to be like a major big time Livy, but as of right now, I would just consider myself being an ally, if anything. So that's one thing that I want to say. So don't know too much about the Livies, but as of right now, I just want to be just considered just an ally. So yeah. And one thing that I want to be saying though is when it comes to the Livies is I wouldn't mind if they support my channel, my main channel, because the more you know people that they're watching, the more the merrier in a way. So that's just my whole opinion when it actually comes to that. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Livy. So don't know too much about the Livies, but as of right now, I just want to consider myself just being an ally, if anything. So hopefully you can understand where I'm actually coming from. Okay, so I do apologize if I'm actually missing some comments, but this just me just, just saying how it is, I just never thought that this, particular actress was into Olivia Rodrigo, and I do believe that there's like videos and proof of this, but yeah. I mean, I could consider reacting to it, but I don't want to risk, getting a copyright or whatever you want to call. So as of right now, I'm not gonna be taking that risk though, because I don't want to go off too too off topic. Well, one thing that is for certain though is this isn't about Olivia Rodrigo. This is about me just doing this film review on 2025's Lilo and Stitch though. So I don't want to get off too off topic in a way because I actually want to stay on topic for this live stream. Because that's one thing that I don't like about live streams sometimes is I want to make sure that I actually stay on topic and not go off topic. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying is I don't want to go off topic in a way. Yep. But let me go ahead and actually check out some things really quick. So okay, so this is one thing that I do want to be checking up on. So yeah. I'm not gonna be worried too much about that in a way. But one thing that I want to say right now is to the people in the live chat is hopefully that you're actually enjoying this film review, live stream, whatever you want to call it. But I just decided that I just want to just do a live stream talking about this in a way. So thankfully this live stream has been like going good so far, and I want to make sure that it stays that way because I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I provide these live streams for you people to be enjoying. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more people in the live chat, so that way they are able to express themselves in a way. Yep. But to the people in the live chat is hopefully that you're enjoying this live stream. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything interesting as of right now. So, but if some of my friends actually want to be joining, the streamer panel, then that's entirely up to them, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But anyways, I do believe that I'm seeing a new comment in the live chat, which I will get to in just a second. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. Just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay. Okay. For some strange reason, there are times where I can see like certain comments, and then there are times where I can't even see like all the comments in a way. Okay, so I should be able to see the comments and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah. Look who is here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can make this special hashtag really quick. So just give me 1 second because I want to make sure if it's a surprise. And this is one thing that I want to say to the people in the live chat is if this, particular individual, which by the way, I'm gonna go and see if I can, make this special hashtag because I guess you could say that, this particular individual is I would see this person more of an ally, if anything. I don't fully know this person, which, by the way, I will be saying your name though, but I can't really say your name all that correctly, unfortunately. But I can say your code name though, which, by the way, in my own personal opinion, I just like your code name a lot more than your actual name. So hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. But this is just me, giving you a compliment, if anything. So I'm gonna go in and see if I can put this special hashtag that I have made for you really quick. Here it is. Hashtag ultimate robot chicken. So yeah, all I can really say as of right now is this is just a special hashtag that I have made for you. So I just figured that this name would actually suit you. But if you don't seem to like it, then that's fine. But this is just my opinion, giving me, me giving you a compliment. So I would just prefer to just call you Robot Chicken because I try to pronounce your name, but unfortunately I can't seem to get it right for whatever strange reason. So I just go by this code name, if anything. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I don't know too much about you, but I just figured that one thing that I want to say to my live chat is whenever this particular individual happens to appear, I think we should use this fun hashtag that I've made. Keep this in mind. This hashtag that I made is just for fun. Hashtag Ultimate Robot Chicken. So yeah, but this is just me just giving props, if anything. But you're more than welcome to say your piece in the live chat if you actually want to, in a way. So, yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. And one thing that I want to give props to you is I just never thought that you update your profile picture. If I'm going to be honest, that is one tough looking robot chicken, if anything. But I just figured that your profile picture is an inspiration of the TV series Robot Chicken, and believe it or not, there is actually a TV show like that on Adult Swim. I don't really watch the TV show or series Robot Chicken all that much, to be honest, but certain people happen to like it. And one thing that I want to give credit in regards to, the actual TV series or show Robot Chicken is it does have a lot of dark humor. So that's one thing that I want to give props to, the actual TV show or series Robot Chicken in a way. I mean, it can be dark, but there are times where it could be like way too dark, like to the point where it can't be light whatsoever. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to to the people in the live chat. But this is just me just giving my own personal opinion though. So yeah, but just give me 1 second really quick because I have to check out some things really quick. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Unfortunately, my DMs, but I want to focus more on my live chat. But I'm gonna go and wait and see if there's gonna be some people who want to express themselves so they can have the legal right to express themselves because I got no problem if people actually want to express themselves because we are here to just have fun and that's one thing that does matter to me. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new in my live chat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait patiently just to make sure if there's gonna be some more comments in live chat. So that way, people have that legal right to express themselves. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying, but I'm not quite sure what I could talk about when it comes to this particular film review, but I guess we could talk about random topics. So yeah. But I want to go and see if I can try to keep this live stream going because as of right now, I'm actually having just a good time, just myself, just interacting with some of the people in the live chat, and that's one thing that I do want to be saying. So hopefully that there's going to be some more people in the live chat, so that way they'll be able to express themselves because they do have that legal right in a way. Yep. So one thing that I want to say is in regards to the live chat is hopefully that you people are actually having a good time right now. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be anything new as of right now. So yeah. Wait, hold on just a second. Is it just me or is some of my friends are actually live right now? Give me 1 second because I want to make sure if they're actually active right now, but if they're not really active, then I can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. Yep. So just give me 1 second and okay, so it turns out that some of my friends are actually live right now, but it would be cool if they can actually, be in my live chat. And if they want to be in the streamer panel, then I'd be happy to send the streamer link, no problem. Because, if certain people have like seen this particular film, then they can come into the streamer panel and actually express themselves. Like I've got no issues if people want to have the chance to say their piece when it comes to this particular film. And one thing that I want to say as of right now is this film, I would say it's decent or good, you could say. So you could say it's somewhere between either decent or good. So that's one thing that I want to say in regards to this film. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be anything new in the live chat. So I just want to go ahead and actually check this out for myself. Alrighty then. So yeah, give me 1 second because I just want to go in and just check out with some of my friends really quick. I mean, I could let them know that I'm, doing this particular live stream, but I don't want to like interrupt them or anything because, if they want to do their own live streams, then, they do have that legal right to be doing so. So one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I don't want to, go off topic in a way because, I actually want to focus with you people, and that's one thing that does matter because, I just, this is one thing that I do like when it comes to live streams is streamer panels. So that's one thing that I do want to say. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait very patiently just to make sure some people can actually express themselves in the live chat because one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I want to do whatever it takes to make sure if I can make these live streams slightly more interesting because I'm doing everything I can to make sure I can provide, more live streams for you people to be enjoying. Because I know for a fact that I'm in this community for a reason, so that way I can provide these types of live streams, and that's one thing that I do appreciate. That you people are just watching this as of right now. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. But anyways, one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is this live stream has been like going like pretty amazing so far. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. So, but just give me 1 second really quick because let me just go ahead and make sure if there's anything new really quick with my friends because I want to just go ahead and just already then. So I'm just taking a look, and I guess you could say that some of my friends are actually busy as of right now, but yeah. But one thing that does surprise me as of right now is this is pretty strange that they're not really receiving a lot of viewership, and I'm not really seeing their subscribers slash supporters in their live chats, but who knows. But I think, in my own personal opinion, that their audiences could be busy, just like mine. But it would be cool if the members in the community that I'm actually in right now would be able to express themselves in the live chat. But yeah. But one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is I'll do what I can to make sure if I can provide some positive, live streams because that's exactly, what I want to be doing for this community in a way. Because if I'm gonna be saying my piece on this, is I'm not trying to, how do I say this? Okay, never mind. I just lost my train of thought for whatever strange reason. Okay, so one thing that I want to be saying though as of right now is I'm doing whatever it takes and I'm doing my best to make sure I don't do any negative slash drama streams. That's one thing that I'm trying to avoid because, I want to make sure that I try to stay positive in a way or try to do these types of positive streams in a way. So my streams may not be all that perfect, but at least I put effort into them. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying though. But I just never thought that, time is actually going by like pretty fast. And, I guess you could say to a certain extent is we are in the middle of summer. I don't even know. I mean, it could be true, it could be not be true, but who knows? But in my own personal opinion, I would just say that summer is actually going by like fast, like pretty fast. So, but hopefully that's something people are just enjoying your summer. But if not, I can just respect your opinion. No problem. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new happening with my friends because I'm actually taking a look to see what they're actually doing as of right now. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to, my friends. But I think from time to time they should be able to check out more of my live streams if they actually want to. But that's just my own personal opinion, though. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and just double check right now, and just to make sure my friends are doing good for themselves. And I'm not quite sure if my friends have seen this particular film, but if they actually want to, then like I said earlier, they're more than welcome to just join my streamer panel, if anything, because I've got no issues if people want to have the chance to join my streamer panels. Like I got no issue with that whatsoever. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to my friends in a way. Yep. But hopefully you people are just enjoying this particular live stream that I'm actually doing for you people. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I'm not quite sure what to talk about when it comes to this particular film. I believe I already said what I needed to say in a way, but yeah. But to you people that are watching as of right now, I would highly recommend that you actually check out this, film, 2025's Lilo and Stitch, because in my own personal opinion, I would say it's worth watching to a certain extent. But I would say just watch the animated movie before watching the live action remake. Which keep this in mind, I've already seen the animated movie, but yeah, I mean, at least almost they were able to copy or try to stick with the source material because in my own personal opinion, like if Disney gonna be making their live action remakes, then try to at least stick with the source material because that's what people that's what they want to watch. Just try to stick with the source material because if you make too many changes, then it's not really the same in my own personal opinion. So yep, that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to Disney's live action remakes. So yeah, and from what I'm hearing, I believe that there are other movie companies that they might consider making their own live action remakes, but yeah. But when it comes to Disney, just try to stick with the source material and not make so many changes because there are like certain, you know, live action remakes from Disney. They made way too many changes, and there is a good reason why certain people didn't want to watch it because, well, they made way too many changes, which, by the way, that's not even good. Like, if I'm gonna say how it is, then it's not even all that good. Like the way I see it, just don't even do that, in my own personal opinion. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new as of right now. Alrighty then. So I just want to go ahead and just make sure if there's anything new with my friends really quick because I'm pretty sure that they have their own live stream to be doing as of right now. Okay. So all I can really say as of right now is yeah, I do believe that they're actually doing their own thing as of right now, but if they happen to get done with their own live streams, then they're more than welcome to actually join my live stream whenever they want to. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. But hopefully that you people that are watching this as of right now is hopefully that you're actually enjoying this live stream because you could say that I'm actually having a good time right now. It may not be fun, but at least it's good. But it would be something if this live stream would have been a lot more fun. But as of right now, I'm not really seeing a lot of people as of right now. Yep. But hopefully there is a slight possibility that they will make an appearance though, because I do want to say my piece on this, if anything. But I think for the most part, the community is actually busy doing their own thing. But if they actually want to just be doing that, then that's fine though. But I just want to just go ahead and just make sure if they actually just want to be, making an appearance in live chat if they choose to be. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But one thing that I want to say is in regards to this community that I'm actually in right now is for the most part, we're just doing our own thing and we're doing everything we can to make sure we can stick to a music community because that's what this community is supposed to be about, just a music community. But one thing that I want to be saying though is in regards to like other communities, well, I am in too, but the other one's going to be mostly about, Resident Evil and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we could include music, but mostly it'll be just music from Resident Evil, if anything. But I'm not gonna try to go off topic because this isn't about Resident Evil. This is about Lilo and Stitch. So yeah, I mean, I could talk about that particular topic, but most likely it'll happen on a different live stream, but not right now though, because I actually want to focus on this live stream in regards to this particular film, if anything. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be if I can let some people know about this live stream if they actually do want to have a chance to be, checking this out in a way. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying though. So yeah. So just give me 1 second and I'm just gonna go ahead. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let some of my friends know about this really quick. Okay, so just give me 1 second and I'll be happy to let some of my friends know about this particular live stream. Okay, so just give me 1 minute so that way I can let them know about this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and send them some DMs really quick. So just give me 1 second and I'd be happy to do it, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and see if I can do this on all my DMs really quick. Okay, this should be the one. I do believe that I'm nearly done with this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and send it right now. So there we go. They should be able to see it. So one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is hopefully that there will be some people that are going to be tuning in for this live stream, so that way they'll be able to say their piece though. Yep. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying though. Okay, so they should be able to have the DM, and yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. Okay, so one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is hopefully that there could be some more people in the live chat, so that way this live stream can be just more fun in my own personal opinion. But I'm gonna go ahead and let some other people know about this live stream, so that way they'll be able to see it. And if they one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is if they actually just want to, how do I say this as of right now? Oh, that's right. If they actually just want to say their piece in the streamer panel, then I'm gonna go ahead and send the streamer link, no problem. But I would just want to make sure if they're gonna go ahead and actually join the panel, so that way they can say their piece though. But first things first, I just want to just make sure if they're gonna be joining. So yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and DM this person really quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and let them know that I'm actually live right now. So let me just go ahead and just let them know about this. Okay, so thankfully I've already let them know about this, and hopefully they'll be able to, let my friends know about this, or other friends, you could say. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to that. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be something else really quick. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing, you know, nothing all that new at the moment. But I'm gonna go and let some other people know about this live stream. And one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is if they happen to, join, then just let me know. I'll send the streamer link, no problem. And you people are more than welcome to actually express yourself if anything. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and let some more and more people know if they can actually, have the chance to be joining. So yeah. Okay. So let me just go ahead and see. I want to make sure if my friends are actually still doing their live streams, but if they're not, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let them know, so that way they'll be able to, tuning in for this live stream that I have provided, or rather that I'm actually doing as of right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if I can send the link out. No problem. Well, not the streamer link, but just the YouTube link, so that way they'll be able to receive it in a way. Okay, so this should be the one, and hopefully they'll be able to get this, no problem. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that should be able to do the trick. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can let some other people know about this. But in the meantime, I actually want to give back to this live stream really quick. Okay, so anyways, I've already let my friends know that I'm actually live as of right now, and if they want to have a chance to be joining, then that's entirely up to them. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to say. But anyways, hopefully that my friends actually had had a good time with their own live streams. But if they want to have some more fun, then they can join my streamer panel, no problem though. But I do believe that there are times where my friends can be like busy, but I can't really force my friends to actually join my streamer panel because they do have that legal right if they are busy or if they want to be in the live chat. But that's entirely up to my friends, of course. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. So I do like my friends, and there are times where I do like to interact with them. So that's one thing that I will give my friends credit for. But I believe that I just let two of my friends know about this, and they were live. But I want to make sure if they're actually going to be in the live chat, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying though. But one thing that is for certain though is hopefully they'll happen to make an appearance. But if not, then I can't really say anything about that. But I'm not quite sure what I can be talking about because, like I said, earlier, there's nothing really there's nothing, you know, all that much to talk about when it comes to this particular film because most likely I've already said my piece, about this particular film. So yeah, but all I can really say as of right now is if you people do happen to get the chance, is I would highly recommend that you actually check out 2025 Lilo and Stitch because I would say it's worth it. I would say they almost nearly stuck with the source material. Like it wasn't all that perfect. I would say it's good to a certain extent, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is definitely just check out the film whenever you can because they almost stuck with the source material when it comes to Lilo and Stitch, of course. But in my own personal opinion, I would just go by with the animated movie because it's original and I guess you could say that it has like slightly more humor. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect like the live action remake, but what I'm saying though is both of them are good to be watching. But in my own personal opinion, I would just go with the animated movie. It has a slightly bigger edge than the live action remake, in my own personal opinion. So hopefully that some people can actually respect where I'm actually coming from. But if some people would rather just prefer the live action remake, over the animated movie, then I can respect opinions, no problem. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to when when it comes to this particular film. Yep. But anyways, one thing that is for certain though is this live stream has been like going good so far, but I just really wish it would just be, slightly more fun with my friends around. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be anything else really quick, so that way, people can actually see their piece in the live chat. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though is wait, hold on. Just a second. There's one thing that I do want to be checking up on. Okay. I'm not gonna be worried too much about that because, I do want to focus more on this live stream, if anything. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is thankfully I can actually talk about this topic, which is film reviews in a way. And, you know, I might just consider just doing more of these film reviews, for future live streams because one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is at least this is a positive, stream to be talking about or something positive for me to talk about. So, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure if I can just provide positive streams in a way. Because I want to make sure that everything in this community that I'm actually in right now, it actually stays good. So that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to, this community in general. Yep. But I just want to go ahead and just make sure if there's anything else that's going to be happening in the live chat because I do believe that I've already got the majority of your people's comments though, but I just want to make sure if there's literally going to be some more people though. But yeah. One thing that is for certain though is to people in the live chat is you people are more than welcome to just express yourself, like no problem. It's like I've got no issues if some of you people actually just want to express yourself. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Wait, hold on just a second. Okay, so I think that I'm missing some comments for me to actually save, but not to worry. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can actually try to be saving them because you people are just awesome, and I do appreciate that you people are just saying your piece in the live chat. So that's one thing that I will give credit to you people in the live chat, of course. So yeah, yep. But one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is thankfully, at least some of you people are just watching this live stream, and that's one thing that I want to give props to you people. But hopefully that there could be some more viewership, and not only that, but I'm just waiting very patiently just to make sure there could be some, more people in the live chats who will be commenting, of course, because one thing that is for certain though is I still want to make some live streams, but at the same time, I don't want to keep cutting back on them because I want you people to actually be enjoying these types of live streams in a way. But mostly the ones that I want to do that are positive in a way. So that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to you people that are just watching this as of right now. But let me just double check on one thing really quick. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. Okay, I'm not too worried about this as of right now. My DMs, yep. But one thing that I want to say though is I just let two of my friends know about this live stream, but so far I'm not really seeing them as of right now. But who knows? I think as of right now, they just could be busy with their own personal life. But if they actually are doing that, then that's fine. But thankfully, at least they have their audience to be watching them. So that's one thing that I want to say. But hopefully, I can actually interact more with my friends, especially in their own live streams. Yep. Because I do whatever it takes to make sure that I try to be there for my friends. I fully support them, and that's one thing that I do like about my friends is I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm actually a good friend to them. I interact with them and all this other stuff. Yep. Because I am so thankful to have friends in this community. And that's one thing that does matter to me because, friendship is important in my own personal opinion. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is you got myself and also the leader, well, the other leader in this community. Yep. So thankfully, you could say to a certain extent is he's the one that actually gave this community a name. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I just never thought that I would be the leader in this community. Like, yeah. Yep. But anyways, let me just go ahead and see if there's. I think I'm starting to see that there's some more people that are actually watching this, but at the same time, I just want to make sure if some people can actually be commenting in the live chat because you people do have the legal right to actually express yourself. So I want to make sure that you people actually say your piece because I'm actually working very hard to provide these types of live streams for you people to actually be watching, though, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But let me just go ahead and just check out some other things really quick because I'm pretty certain that my friends are actually done with their live streams, of course. But if they are going to be, making an appearance though, then that's entirely up to them, of course. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So just give me 1 second really quick. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, I want to go ahead and try to get back on this live stream, but hopefully the people are just enjoying this film review that I have been doing. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is when it comes to this film is you could say that some of the characters are actually missing in a way. I can't really say some of their names, but they have made some changes, but not like too many changes in a way. So yeah. And it's just me, or one thing that I want to say though, as of right now, is, or did the filmmakers actually try to make the movie character Stitch look good? Yep. And not only that, but from what I'm hearing is I do believe that the original voice actor of Stitch was actually voice acting Stitch. Yep. Which, by the way, that is actually a surprise to me. I just never thought that the original voice actor of Stitch would still be voicing Stitch in a way. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I just gotta give props to the filmmakers for actually making this particular film, and I'm pretty certain that it's gonna do pretty well when it comes to box office. Well, it already is, but what I meant is, in the summer. Well, one thing that is for certain though is we are in the season of summer, so I'm pretty certain that it, is going to dominate the box office of 2025. But my question in regards to this film is I'm just wondering if this particular film will be receiving awards, from the Oscars in a way. I mean, one thing that is for certain though is this film is actually doing pretty great when it comes to box office wise. Like it honestly is. But one thing that I want to be saying though is I'm not quite sure if Disney is going to be continuing their live action remakes, but who knows if they'll actually be doing that, of course. But all I can really say as of right now is we're going to have to wait and see if, they'll happen to be making more live action remakes though. But if they are going to make some live action remakes, just try to make them, you know, good in a way, or as a matter of fact, make them great, and don't make too many changes and stuff like that, and try not to change the plot all that much in a way. I mean, there are times where Disney can actually change the plot when it comes to live action remakes, but at the same time, that's just unnecessary. Just try to stick with the original plot in a way, but don't make like too many changes because, in my own personal opinion, that's just unnecessary for the filmmakers to be doing that. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying though. That's for certain. But thankfully, I'm already saying my piece as of right now when it comes to this particular film. So yeah, but thankfully, as of right now, I'm just talking about just random topics. So, and that's one thing that I do like about these live streams, for me to just talk about random topics in a way. So one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now is hopefully that you people are just enjoying, this live stream, because as of right now, I'm actually having a good time. But let me just go ahead and actually check out something really quick. So one thing that I want to be saying though is I'm not quite sure if, how do I say this as of right now? Give me a second. I'm not quite sure if my friends will make an appearance, but if they are unable to, then I can't really do anything about that. But if they just want to be watching this live stream, then that's fine. I've got no issue with that. But one thing that I want to be saying though is they're more than welcome to check out more of this live stream whenever they can. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Yep, they are more than welcome to actually check out this live stream whenever they can. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying when it comes to my friends. But anyways, we've just reached the 1 hour mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this live stream for another one more hour. And after that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream around the 2 hour mark. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you people are just, having a good time, just enjoying this particular, film review that I'm currently doing as of right now. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Yep. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you people are just, having a good time right now. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is it would be cool if you people to actually make an appearance in live chat if you actually choose to, but who knows? Wait, give me 1 second because I think someone was trying to send me a text really quick, but I just want to just make sure really quick. Okay, I'm not too worried about that because I want to focus more on this live stream. if anything. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Yep. But anyways, hopefully that you people are just, enjoying yourselves, and that's one thing that I want to be saying though. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can try to keep this live stream going a bit longer, but I don't want to make it too long because, there's nothing really more for me to talk about in regards to this film because most likely I've already said my piece on this, in regards to 2025's Lilo and Stitch, and that's one thing that I want to give props about this film. So hopefully I'll be able to, do more film reviews, and I think as of right now, this could be like the first one. So yeah, but if there's any like interesting films that I do happen to check out, then most likely then I will be talking about it on my channel, more specifically my main channel. So that's one thing that I want to say to the people that are watching this as of right now. So yeah. So just give me 1 second, so that way if my friends actually know about this. Wait, let me see if some of my friends are actually DMing me right now. Okay, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. But one thing that I want to be saying though is, thankfully, I watched this film. I have enjoyed it, and I might even consider watching it again. But it is a slight possibility. But there are times where I just want to watch the animated movie, of Lilo and Stitch. I'm not quite sure when that particular film came out though, but I can double check as of right now, but I'm not quite sure when was it in a way. But you could say that I have actually grown up with Lilo and Stitch in a way, like the animated movie, and I do believe that they made sequels, and from what I'm hearing, I think they made their own TV show or series. Like, I'm being for real on this. Whoever thought that a Lilo and Stitch, TV series or show would actually be good, and most likely it was on Disney Channel, you could say. I don't even know. But one thing that I want to say is in regards to Disney Channel is back then I actually grew up with that, but I got nothing against like the modern Disney Channel, but it's just, you know, they're not really putting effort all that much anymore, unfortunately. And that's one thing that I have been noticing when it comes to, modern Disney Channel when compared to classic Disney Channel. So that's one thing that I do want to point out in a way. But this is just me just giving an opinion when it comes to Disney Channel in a way. I got nothing against it, but I just wish that they could make like better, TV shows or series or shows, whatever you want to call it, you could say. Because they just have to make them, a lot better, a lot more better, if anything. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new really quick. Alrighty then, so let me just go ahead and just double check out something really quick. So yeah. But anyways, all I can really say as of right now is most likely I've already said what I needed to say. So I guess as of right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just talk about random topics in a way. But give me 1 second, really quick, because I think most likely I want to check out like the live action remake really quick. So just give me 1 second. So yeah, one thing that I want to be saying though is I do believe that they use CGI in a way. And one thing that I want to say as of right now is I do believe that the CGI, you know, is good in a way. It may not be like all that great, but at least they try to make it as good as it could possibly be in a way. But just give me 1 second because one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I'm pretty sure that the cast of Lilo and Stitch, I'm not talking about the animated movie. I'm talking about like the live action remake. Is it does have like a good cast, and that's one thing that I will give props to the filmmakers in a way. Yep. So that's one thing that I do want to give props to them. So I'm actually taking a look at this as we speak, and as of right now, I just never thought that this film would be all that great. Like as of right now, well, not necessarily like that great, but just good. I would say it's just that good in a way. Yep. But I just never thought that, one of the people in the live chat, more specifically, Son of the Scene Girl, she actually enjoyed Lilo and Stitch, and she did say that she loved it. But I don't think she's here in the live chat, but she did say that she enjoyed it in a way. And I just never thought that she would. But I'm not quite sure if she has seen the animated movie, but I would have to ask her most likely about that particular topic behind the scenes, but I don't think she's actually here right now because I think she could be busy as of right now, but yeah. But at least some of the people were in my live chat. And that's one thing that I will say in regards to that in a way. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I might consider talking with some of my friends about this if if they have seen this particular film though. But yeah, but as of right now, the only person that has enjoyed this film right now is Sonic the Scene Girl, and that's one thing that she did told me about in the live chat. So that's one thing that I want to give props to Sonia. Is thankfully she was able to tell me about this. So yeah, I don't think she's in the live chat because she could be busy as of right now. But yeah, but now that I think about it, is I'm not quite sure if Sonic the Synchro has done like film reviews, but this could be a good idea for Sonic the Synchro. But if she actually wants to be doing that particular topic in a way, but most likely I'll talk to her about this behind the scenes, but not right now though because I don't think she's in my live chat though. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new with my DMs really quick because I just want to make sure if people actually want to express themselves because thankfully I do appreciate my audience for actually appearing in the live chat to actually express themselves. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything new really quick. Alrighty then. So far, I'm not really seeing anything all that new. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue doing this particular film review because, thankfully as of right now, I'm actually having a good time as we speak as of right now. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I do believe that so many people are just, watching this live stream but not really commenting all that much. But at the same time, if there happens to be like more comments, then you people do have the legal right to express yourself. And not only that, but if there's like more comments, then it makes this live stream all the more interesting in a way. Yep. I mean, you people do have the legal right to actually express yourself in the live chat. I mean, there are times where my live chat can be, how do I say this? Wait, hold on just a second, really quick. Okay, so to the person that's calling me on Facebook Messenger, please don't do that because I actually want to focus more on this live stream because, I can't be doing both. I cannot be on a Facebook Messenger call and be on a live stream at the same time because I can't be doing that. It's kind of hard for me to balance both though. But if you actually just want to talk with me, just appear in my live chat. But at the same time, I can't be taking a Facebook Messenger call while I'm doing a live stream. I just can't be doing that. So it ain't gonna happen because I gotta focus more on this live stream so that way I can say my piece in regards to this particular film. So yeah. So as of right now, my friends are actually done with their own live streams, but one thing that I want to say in regards to them is if they actually just want to, make an appearance in my live chat, that's entirely up to them, of course. But one thing that I want to give credit is thankfully, some of my subscribers slash supporters actually support two of my friends. I'm not quite sure if I do want to be saying their names, but one thing that is for certain though is me and two of my friends, we actually have something in common. Well, not really because of that, but one thing that is for certain though is thankfully we have the same subscribers slash supporters. So that's one thing that I gotta give props in regards to two of my friends. Yep. So one thing that I want to be saying though is to you people is I know that so many people are watching this, but it would just mean a lot to me if you people can just be commenting in the live chat because I want to do whatever it takes to make sure that this live stream becomes, slightly more fun. But as of right now, I'm just having a good time as of right now. Yeah, but I would appreciate if there could be more viewership though. But if certain people just happen to be busy with their personal lives, then I can't really say anything about that. But you people are more than welcome to just check out my live streams whenever you can though, because thankfully I'm just providing these live streams whenever I can actually, do for you people. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. But let me just check out some things really quick. Alrighty then. So I just want to just check this out for myself. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything all that new as of right now. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm not quite sure what type of random topics I could be talking about because I want to see if I can just, talk about more topics before I actually, I guess you could say end this live stream, but I'm not going to be ending it as of right now because I still want to keep going for you people to actually be watching this as of right now. And so, yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though is hopefully that you people have been enjoying this film review that I have been doing. I'm not quite sure if the community that I'm actually in right now happens to enjoy film reviews, but if they happen to do so, then I wouldn't mind if they're able to make an appearance in my live chat and just talk about this film in a way. But me personally, I do believe that I have been talking about this particular film. So yeah. But I'm just gonna go ahead and check out one thing really quick, so that way, more and more people know that I'm actually live right now. But I don't think two of my friends are actually gonna be in the live chat, unfortunately. But I just want to make sure if they'll actually say their piece, though. But other people. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just let some of my other friends know about this, so that way they'll be able to say their piece, though, if they want to. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this person know and let some other people know really quick. Okay, so thankfully I was able to let a certain group chat know. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything else that I could check up on. So just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not gonna worry too much about that really quick because I want to focus more on this live stream. And one thing that I want to be saying though is if this community happens to miss this live stream, most likely is gonna be staying up, and they're more than welcome to actually check it out whenever they can. So that's one thing that I do want to say when it comes to the community that I'm actually in right now. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything that's gonna be new as of right now, and I'm gonna see if I can check out some more of my DMs really quick. So let me just go ahead and see if I can check out some other DMs really quick. So let me just go ahead and do that for the time being, so that way they'll be able to know about this live stream. So yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just check out more of my DMs really quick, so that way they'll be able to know. But I'm gonna go ahead and just wait very patiently, so that way so that way my friends, my subscribers, and finally supporters know about this live stream. Because one thing that is for certain though is you people are just awesome, and that's one thing that I do appreciate from you. So yeah. So just give me 1 second because there are some things that I do want to be checking up on really quick. So yeah. So just give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm not gonna be worried too much about that, about these particular DMs really quick. I think some of my other friends are DMing me as right now, but I'm not gonna focus too much into that because one thing that I do want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'll do whatever it takes to make sure I can provide these, positive live streams in a way because, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you people enjoy yourselves, especially in this community that I'm actually in right now. So yeah. But I'm not quite sure if every one of my subscribers slash supporters is actually in the community, but who knows? But that's up to the people in the chat if they actually want to or not. If they actually choose to be part of this community. So yeah, that's one thing that I wanted. So just give me 1 second really quick so that way I can let some other people know about this. So that's one thing that I want to say. Wait, did someone just send me a text message right now? 1 second. Okay, so I'm just taking a look at this and I'm not gonna worry too much about this, text message. But anyways, one thing that I want to be saying though as of right now is I know so many people are just watching this as of right now, but at the same time, I just would appreciate some more and more comments to, that way I can take a look at them. And that way I can actually check them out and just talk about them. Yep. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just double check on something really quick, something else, and okay, not gonna worry too much about that, of course. But anyways, I do believe that I've already said what I needed to say in regards to this particular film. Is I would highly recommend just watch it, of course. So yeah, so that way you people can check it out for yourselves, and you people can have an opinion of your own. Whether if this version of the movie is better or the animated movie is better. But you people do have your opinion to like whatever that you want to like. So that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to the people that are just watching this as of right now. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything else that's in the live chat really quick. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing anything all that new as of right now, unfortunately. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is thankfully, at least some people have been enjoying this particular film review, and that's one thing that I want to give props to you people in the live chat. But at the same time, unfortunately, I didn't really see a lot of people in the live chat, unfortunately. But one thing that I do want to be doing though is most likely I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on going because this is actually a topic that I should be able to talk about in a way. But at least I'm trying to have topic variety. And that's one thing that should be important when it comes to channels in general. Like it's always good to have topic variety in a way. And thankfully this is one of them. Film reviews. So I would say that this is a good topic for me to talk about in a way. Yep. But anyways, let me just go ahead and check out, this particular more of this, film. Lilo and Stitch, 2025's Lilo and Stitch. So I'm gonna see if I can take a look more of this particular film. So just give me 1 second really quick and I'll be happy to check it out, no problem. But one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I could react to some of like the clips and stuff like that, but I'm not taking the risk of getting copyright. Nope, it ain't gonna happen. But one thing that I want to be saying though is when it comes to the music, I haven't got a chance to, hear, every music of Lilo and Stitch because, it's like this. You can't really make a film without like music and stuff like that. So yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though is hopefully that the music is actually, it could be enjoyable to actually be listening and stuff like that. Okay, so as of right now, I'm just taking a look at this particular film, and I can honestly say that it's somewhere between either decent or good. But one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is granted they have made some certain changes, but one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now is, hopefully that the sequels are going to be worth watching because if the first one is actually doing well in terms of box office wise, then there could be a slightly big hope that the sequels might be good, but who knows? But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is we're gonna have to wait and see if the sequels will be like good in a way. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But let me go ahead and see if there's gonna be something else really quick because I'm actually taking a look at more of the Lilo and Stitch live action remake that actually came out 2025, which is actually this year. Yep. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But one thing that is for certain though is thankfully, this film has been like going like pretty good so far, or I would say it's just decent at best. Yep. I mean, I'm not quite sure what to talk about in terms of plot, but yeah. I mean, I could talk about the plot of Lilo and Stitch 2025's, live action remake, but at the same time, I'm not gonna try to be doing that because, in my own personal opinion, like I would say it's decent or good, but you should be able to decide if you actually want to check it out, of course. So yeah. But thankfully, to some people, that they have been watching this, and thankfully that they have been enjoying this particular film. So that's one thing that I want to give props to some of the people in the live chat, of course. But I'm just gonna go ahead and see if there's anything else really quick because one thing that is for certain though is my friends have they finished their own live stream. So yeah. I mean, I would have considered joining their live stream, but I want to just do this live stream so that way I can do a film review. Yep. I mean, granted, two of my friends they were doing live streams, but it wasn't under StreamYard. It was you could say it was how do I say this? Oh, that's right. They were just doing game streams. Yep, you heard it right here. It was just game streams. So one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I could do what two of my friends were doing, and that is like game streams. Yes, gaming streams, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure if I wanted to talk about a film review on a gaming stream. I don't know, but that's just my opinion, of course. But I just decided that I wanted to do this under StreamYard because you know, if people had the chance to, if they wanted to have the chance to be joining my streamer panel, so yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though is I might just consider just talking about some more fun topics on a game stream or a game stream, but at the same time, in my own personal opinion, I do get like way more viewership on StreamYard than, you know, on an actual game stream. Yes, gaming stream. So I'll do whatever it takes to make sure I can provide, more fun topics, especially when it comes to panels like this in a way. Okay, give me 1 second because I do believe that some of my friends are actually DM me right now. So just give me 1 second so that way I can actually check this out for myself. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that. So yeah, so just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay, so I do believe that I'm seeing a certain Discord server. I'm not gonna be saying, the name, but one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now is I think some of my friends are actually on our Discord server, but I'm not gonna be joining though because I actually want to focus more with you people that are actually watching this live stream as of right now. So all I can really say as of right now is I'm gonna be focusing more on this live stream, if anything. So yeah. Okay. So all I can really say as of right now is I'm gonna go in and see what some of my friends are actually gonna be doing, but right after this live stream because I don't want to like go off topic in a way. I mean, it could be something important, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like join their Discord server. I mean, yes, I am in their Discord server, but I cannot be joining their call right now while I'm actually doing a live stream. Yep, because I want to make sure that I keep things balanced in a way. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say is in regards to you people that are just watching this as of right now. So yeah. But anyways, let me just go ahead and see if there's anything new in the live chat really quick. And so far, unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything as of right now. But anyways, let me just check out something really quick. So yeah. Okay, so I do believe it turns out that one of my friends is actually in that Discord server, but I'm not gonna be explaining all the details all that much. Yep. But one thing that I want to say as of right now is if you people happen to be watching this live stream, well, more specifically, if the community happens to be watching this live stream, I'm not quite sure if they have watched this, watched this particular film, Lilo and Stitch, that came out in 2025, which is this year. But yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though is people can actually comment, right after I end this if they have the chance to be watching this particular film. Yep. So I'm not quite sure, but that's up to them, of course. They are more than welcome to actually be leaving any comments if they want to. But again, is you could do that, but right after this live stream. But if you people just want to just be commenting in the live chat, then that's fine. I got no issue with that. But at the same time, it would have been a lot cool if, or cooler, whatever you want to call it, if they have the chance to be joining my streamer panel and actually saying their piece, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and see what my friends are gonna be up to, but right after this live stream, because I do believe they're on a certain Discord server. But again, I'm not gonna be saying that name, of course. But it looks like they might need some help though. But I'm not gonna be worried too much about that because I'm doing a live stream as of right now, and that's one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now. Yep. So I'm just taking a look at this, and so far, I'm not really seeing all that much as of right now. Yep. But anyways, one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is hopefully that you people are just enjoying this, film review that I have been doing, of course. So yeah. But as of right now, I do believe that I just want to just talk about is random topics in a way because, so that way, I can actually interact with some of you people in the live chat. But it's just quite unfortunate that I'm not really seeing a lot of people in the live chat, which is unfortunate. I'm also not really seeing the members in the community that I'm actually in right now because I know that there are times where they can actually, be in the live chat, of course, but I just want to make sure if they just want to just, say their piece because I got no issue with some of the members in the community. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying though, because one thing that is for certain though is I know for a fact that myself and some of the members in the community, we want to make sure that it stays good in a way. But not only that, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that it stays as a music community. Because I know for a fact that some of the members happens to enjoy music in a way. But for me personally, I may not be like a big music fan, if I'm gonna be honest. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is for me personally, I'm more of a moviegoer in a way because I happen to enjoy films every now and then. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But I'm not quite sure what else to be talking about. But at the same time, hopefully that you people are just enjoying this film review, nevertheless. But I'm gonna go ahead and check out something really quick. So just give me 1 second, really quick, so that way I can check it out. Okay, I'm not gonna read too much about that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can keep this live stream for, I guess you could say, another 30 more minutes, and then after that, most likely I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream around the 2 hour mark. So all I can really say right now to the people in the live chat is you have that much time, for you to express yourself in the live chat because I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in a bit because there's not really more for me to talk about in a way. So all I can really say as of right now is I've already said my piece when it comes to this particular film, Lilo and Stitch 2025, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say. I mean, I will give props, in regards to the CGI or the effects, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say though. Okay, wait, hold on. Just a second. Okay, one thing that I want to be saying though is I know that some people are trying to DM me on Discord, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that because I'm actually focusing on this live stream as we speak, as of right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more comments, but I'm not quite sure if some people are gonna stick around because if they're actually gonna be busy just doing their own thing, then I can't really say anything about that. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. But I just never thought that time would be going by like pretty fast in a way. Yep. So one thing that I want to be saying though is I do believe that some of my other friends are sending me a link calling out this particular individual, which by the way, I'm not gonna be saying his name because, you could say that I'm just gonna be moving on from him. I'm not gonna be throwing any shade towards him. I'm not gonna talk bad about him, but as of right now, I'm just gonna be moving on. Yep. Because all I can really say as of right now is I just think that this particular individual is a lost cause, but I'm not going to be saying any names because, it's not even worth it at this point because, it just isn't. That's just my personal opinion. Yep. But to the people that are in this community, I'm pretty sure that, you members are going to be moving on from this particular individual, and I think you know exactly who I'm referring to. But again, I'm not going to be saying any names because I just want to move on from him at this point. Yep. I mean, I could give you an example, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is he did made a YouTube short, of him, talking negatively about us, and I guess you could say to a certain extent flushing his toilet. And all I can really say as of right now is that is just like flat out disturbing, like straight up. But all I can really say as of right now is I just find that type of stuff to be disturbing in a way. It's like, who would want to watch that? Like for real. I mean, the bottom line is, that particular YouTube short is just flat out disturbing, especially to me. But again, I'm not gonna be saying too much of that, particular individual because I'm just gonna be moving on from him. And I'm pretty certain that you members in the community that I'm actually in right now is I'm pretty sure that you can actually feel the same way because you know there's nothing really to talk about in regards to that particular individual because as of right now I'm moving on from him and I'm pretty certain that you members will be moving on from him as well. Yep. But let me just go ahead and actually check out some things really quick. So just give me 1 second so that way I can actually check this out for myself. So yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that. So yeah. I can see that other people are trying to DM me, but again, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that because I want to focus more on this live stream, and that's one thing that does matter. I'm gonna go ahead and check out my other DMs really quick. So just give me 1 second really quick so that way I can actually check this out for myself. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check out this particular DM really quick. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that, but one thing that I want to say as of right now is I do believe that some of my friends actually want to talk to me behind the scenes. I mean, that could happen though, but right after this live stream because I could end it right now, but I don't want to do that because I still want to save more of my piece though before I actually end this live stream. Yep. But hopefully that you people are having a good time as we speak as of right now. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Okay. So let me just go ahead and actually, check out some of my other DMs if other people want to have a chance to express themselves. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in a bit, but not right now though. But in a little while. But hopefully that you people are just enjoying this live stream as we speak as of right now because one thing that most likely I'll just consider doing these types of live streams in the future, more specifically, film reviews and stuff like that. So yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying is, to you people that are watching this as of right now is, yeah, I do see some viewership, but at the same time, I want to make sure if people were to actually, express themselves in the live chat, so that way it makes it all the more interesting in a way. And if there's more people in the live chat, then that would be, great. But I want to make sure that there's not too many people because, otherwise the live chat will happen to be going by pretty fast, which, by the way, I'm not going to be taking that risk of doing that because, I mean, it's good to have comments in the live chat, but not too many, of course, because it just, in my own personal opinion, it just feels overwhelming in a way. Like it honestly does. So hopefully that some people can actually understand where I'm actually coming from when it comes to like the comments, stuff like that. So yeah. But anyways, I'm not quite sure what I can talk about, but I will hopefully that I will talk about at least something before I actually end this live stream. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's anything else really quick. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and see. I want to make sure that I'm actually seeing if everyone and everybody left their comments in the live chat. So okay, so I think I should be able to get like almost everyone or everybody in the live chat. So yeah, yep. Just give me 1 second, really quick, because wait, did someone just send me another DM really quick? Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that. Yep. So let me just go ahead and check out something. But one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I think one of my friends want me to check out this, particular link in a way, which I will be checking out, of course. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually check this out whenever I can, you know, see this for myself. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. But one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and just check out this link, but whenever I get the chance to be doing so. But one thing that I do want to be saying though, as of right now, is so far this film review has been like going like I would say pretty good so far, but it may not be all that exciting because I don't really see a lot of people in the live chat, unfortunately. But this is just my personal opinion, if anything. Yep. So, anyways, hopefully the people have been like having a good time as of right now. So yeah, but it's quite unfortunate that not a lot of my subscribers and supporters happens to be in the live chat, especially the members in the community that I'm actually in right now. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'll do whatever it takes to make sure I can provide these types of streams, in the near future because these are the types of live streams that I want to be doing in particular. Yep. So, anyways, one thing that I want to say though, that's for certain though, is definitely check out this film whenever you can, and I would say it's somewhere between either decent or even good. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to say is in regards to this particular film. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream in a bit, but not right now though, because I still want to go ahead and just say my piece on this before I actually end this. Yep. But one thing that is for certain though is I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can let some of my other friends or wait, no, not that. Most likely I will be talking to my online friends, but one thing that I do want to be saying though is wait, hold on just a second. Okay, so I'm not gonna be worried too much about that, but at the same time, one thing that I do want to be saying though is I get that some of my friends actually want me to check out this particular, how do I say this link? But one thing that I want to be saying though is I will check it out, but right after this live stream. So I just would appreciate like you know, if not a lot of people can actually try to pressure me when I'm, doing a live stream right now. So one thing that I want to be saying though is I will check out this particular link, but not right now though, but right after this live stream because I want to go in and see, say my piece on this before I end this live stream. Yep. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about some random topic before I actually end this really quick. So yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, as of right now, is I'm not gonna be reacting to any videos because I'm not gonna be. I don't want to take the risk of getting copyright and stuff like that. So hopefully you people can understand where I'm actually coming from. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see who's in the live chat right here, right now. Hey Leon, what's up, man? Anyways, it's great to see you right now, Leon. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you are doing well for yourself. So hopefully that you're having a good day as of right now. So, but anyways, one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Leon, is I'm just surprised that you're in my live chat. Well, in your other channel, I believe. I think I made your other channel into a moderator, and I'm gonna go to see if I can make this one into a mod really quick. So just give me 1 second, so that way I can, do it no problem. Alrighty then, so let me just go ahead and just take a look at your channel, and I'm gonna go and see if I can actually make this one into a moderator. So hopefully you should be able to be a mod, no problem. Okay. Okay, for some strange reason, it's not letting me. I have no idea. But just give me 1 second, Leon, because I want to make sure that I make this one into a mod. So I am going to be making you into a moderator because, yeah. But one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Leon, is hopefully, that you're just having a good day so far, and hopefully that you're doing well for yourself. But one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Leon, is if you want to have a chance to talk behind the scenes, we can actually do that. But I am going to be ending this live stream in a bit. So, yeah. So that's one thing that I want to say to you in regards to you, Leon. So I just want to give you just a quick update on that. Yep. But I'm just like surprised that you're in my live chat as of right now. Yep. But you're more than welcome to say whatever that you want to say as of right now, Leon, because I'm just like really surprised that you're in my live chat. Yep. But for some strange reason, I can't make you into a. This is pretty odd as of right now. For some strange reason, I can't make you into a moderator, but I'm gonna see if I can actually, fix the situation as of right now because I want to see if I can make you into a mod. Yep. So I should be able to be done fixing the situation. So yeah, so just give me 1 second and I'll be able to do this, no problem. But anyways, Leon, if you do want to say like your piece on this, you're more than welcome to do so. But that also reminds me, I'm not quite sure if you have seen this, seen this particular film, which is 2025 Lilo and Stitch, though. But yeah, but in my own personal opinion, I have seen it, and I would say it's between either decent or good. So that's one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Leon. But anyways, I should be able to fix it. So anyways, let me go ahead and try this right now. Energize Templar King Leon Calavera. So there we go. So all I can really say as of right now, Leon, is it should be able to work as of right now. So if you are a mod as of right now, hopefully that should be able to work. So you should be a moderator as of right now. So you can go in and actually try it out with, this channel of yours. So that way you'll be able to, I guess in my own personal opinion, whenever I make people into moderators, if I make them into mods, then they'll be able to type in the live chat a lot more faster, in my own personal opinion. Yeah, but who knows? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait for Leon just to make sure if he can actually say his piece in the live chat. But if he's unable to, then not to worry. Thankfully, I was able to make his other channel into a moderator. So thankfully, he is a mod. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say. Wait, give me 1 second really quick because all I can really say as of right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and just see if I can get to, Leon's comment in just a bit really quick. So wait, hold on just a second really quick. Alrighty then. So I just want to go ahead and just make sure about this. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now is I will get to your. I do believe that I see your comment as of right now, Leon. But this is also one thing that I do want to point out when it comes to I guess you could say StreamYard. There are times where I could see like comments, and then there are times where I just can't. But all I can really say as of right now is I don't even know what to say about that. So yeah. But anyways, give me one second. Oh, okay. So I believe what you're trying to tell me is you had to block that certain stock account, and then what you're trying to tell me is in terms of the movie you haven't, but I can respect your opinion, Leon, if you haven't had the chance to be watching any of the new stuff. But one thing that I want to say as of right now, Leon, is I wouldn't say every modern film is necessarily bad, but I would say that Hollywood in general is starting to run out of ideas in a way. But in my own personal opinion, just come up with something new in a way. And I would just stick with the old stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like some of the new stuff. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to say. Yep. Okay, so I do believe that I'm seeing a comment from you, Leon. So I will get your comment in just a second, really quick. So just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay, so I do believe I see it. So let me go and see what I believe you're going to be saying, Leon. Yeah, on StreamYard, there's like a second delay with the comments in terms of StreamYard, as I had the same issue when I used to do streams. Oh, okay. Then all I can really say as of right now, Leon, is that is definitely understandable, but I'm not quite sure if you're gonna be doing any streamer streams for like this particular channel, but or even your other channel, but that's entirely up to you. But one thing that I want to say in regards to you, Leon, is I do miss your streamer streams, but if you ever want to use, my streamer panel, you're always welcome at any time though. So if you ever want to like say your piece though, then you're more than welcome to do so. I mean, I could let you into the streamer panel as of right now, Leon, but I am going to be ending this live stream in a bit though. But if you actually want to talk to me right after, I'd be down for that. But as of right now, I want to say my final piece before I end this live stream, of course. But you're more than welcome to express yourself in the live chat, Leon. But if you ever want to have a chance to be joining in my streamer panel, then just let me know. I'd be happy to let you in and say your piece. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to you. Yeah, but one thing that I want to be saying as of right now, Leon, is you're more than welcome to do whatever that you want to be doing, but I can fully understand that you just want to focus on your other channel, which I could definitely respect your opinion because I do believe that you did told me that you want to make your other channel your main channel. As far as this one, this will be your secondary channel. Yeah, but in my own personal opinion, I am gonna be missing like your old stuff in regards to ranting. But I could definitely respect your opinion if you're into your other content. In regards to spriting in a way. So I could definitely respect your opinion when it actually comes to that. So, anyways, I'm gonna put this in the live chat really quick because I am gonna be ending the live stream on this time limit. So yeah. But anyways, Leon, if there's anything that you want to be saying, say your piece in the live chat before I actually end this because I am going to be ending this live stream in a bit. And if you want to talk to me right after the live stream, you're more than welcome to do that. And most likely, I'll send it to other people, if they want to have a chance to be joining. All right. I think I'm going to let some of my other friends know about this if they want to have a chance to be joining. So just give me 1 second and I will let them know about this in a bit. So just give me 1 second. Okay. But all I can really say in regards to this particular film is it's actually decent or good. It's somewhere between either decent or good. But one thing that I want to say as of right now, Leon, is if you're not a fan of this live action remake, or I'm not quite sure if you've seen the animated movie, but that's up to you if you want to have a chance to be checking that out, of course. But in my own personal opinion, I would just go with the animated movie because I think that, wait, let me see. Let me check the animated movie. I think it came out in like the early 2000s. I could be wrong. Okay, let me just do some research really quick. And thankfully, as of right now, I'm using an actual computer. So just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna go ahead and check this out. No problem. So let me just check this out. I would share my screen, but I'm not gonna be doing that today. Okay, so it did came out in the early 2000s. Yep, and I just never thought like 20 years later, well, 23 years later, they actually made a live action remake. Yep. But here's the thing, in regards to live action remakes, is there's nothing wrong with making live action remakes, but in my own personal opinions, just try to make them better in a way and try to stick with the source material, like for real. Yeah, but it's like this. You can make some changes, but don't make like too many changes because if I'm gonna be honest, it's like making too many changes. I gotta be honest, it's not even all that great, and not to mention, it doesn't really fit with the source material. Like it just doesn't. Yeah, but that's just my opinion when it comes to that. But anyways, all I can really say right now is to the people in the live chat, especially you, Leon, is hopefully you were able to enjoy this live stream, no problem, because I am going to be ending this live stream in a bit. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. But anyways, if there's any people that want to say their final piece in live chat, you're more than welcome to do so because I will be ending this live stream in a bit because there's nothing more for me to say, of course, but I actually did had a good time with this live stream. So one thing that I want to say though, that's for certain though, is I'll do whatever it takes to make sure if I can provide these types of live stream because one thing that I want to say as of right now is I would consider this live stream to be a positive live stream. And that's one thing that I do want to be doing because as of right now, some of my friends told me to try to cut back on drama streams, and that's exactly what I want to be doing because I mean, let's be honest, doing like shoot, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, that's right. Doing positive live streams is a lot more better than doing drama streams. But one thing I don't get is why are drama streams have more viewership than actual positive streams? It's like that doesn't make any sense though. I don't know. I just feel like certain people are into drama when they shouldn't be, and they should just focus more on positive things, positive streams, you could say. But if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really get people these days. I honestly don't. I don't know, but then again, people are gonna be liking whatever they want to like, especially if it involves drama in a way. Yep. But in my own personal opinion, I would say like this is like the first film review in regards to this channel, my main channel. But one thing that I want to say though, that's for certain though, is most likely I'll be able to do these types of how do I say this? Oh, that's right. Film reviews, but somewhere in like in the near future though. But if there is a film that I have recently watched, then in my own personal opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and watch it and give it a film review. So yeah, I think that's one thing that YouTubers happen to enjoy is film reviews. And there are some big YouTubers, but if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really keep up with like big YouTubers that do film reviews because this is just my own personal opinion. I just feel like 9 times out of 10 they don't really follow smaller YouTube channels in a way or small YouTubers, you could say. But that's just my own opinion. I mean, I got nothing against like big YouTubers or yeah, I got nothing against them, but at the same time, I'm just making a point that they don't really keep up with like small YouTubers. So yeah. But when it comes to these big channels, I'm just, trying to make a point. I just think that they don't really keep up with like smaller channels in a way. But here's one thing that is interesting. I just feel like, in my own personal opinion, like us smaller channels, we make a lot more entertainment than lots of these bigger YouTube channels. But that's just me. But anyways, I do want to go ahead and just make sure if there's going to be some final comment before I end this because I am going to be ending this live stream in a bit. And if some of my friends actually want to talk to me behind the scenes, they are more than welcome to actually be doing so. So yeah, all I can really say as of right now is this live stream has been going pretty, good so far. I wouldn't necessarily say fantastic because not a lot of people happened to show up, unfortunately. But so far, in my own personal opinion, I actually had a good time. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be interesting as of right now. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything new as of right now. But all I can really say as of right now is so far this live stream has been going pretty good so far. I've already said what I need to say in regards to this film review, and hopefully I'll be able to do more of these live streams in the near future because this is one thing that I want to say in regards to my live stream. I would say that I'm actually improving with my live streams. Like I'm actually gonna be for real on this. I mean, think about it. I'm actually trying to cut back on. Well, I'm trying to cut back on drama streams and trying to do these types of live streams, positive streams, you could say. And I guess you could say I would consider this more of a film review live stream. I don't know. I don't even know. I might consider just come up with a better name. But one thing that I want to say in regards, as of right now is thankfully as of right now, I actually had a good time as we speak. And hopefully I'll be able to do more live streams like this in the future. And if some of the members in the community that I'm actually in right now happen to miss this live stream, do not worry. Most likely this live stream is going to be staying up. And you people, well, you members in the community are more than welcome to actually check out this live stream. But I'm not quite sure that the community enjoys film reviews. But for me personally, this is something that is like new to me. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say. But all I can really say as of right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait and see if there's gonna be some final comments before I actually end this because I will be ending this live stream shortly in a bit. So let me go ahead and see if I can actually see some final comments because I will be ending this in a bit. But one thing that I want to say as of right now is most likely this live stream will be staying up, and I just have to give props to one Templar King Leon Calavera for actually making an appearance in my live chat. So that's one thing that I will give him credit for. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say in regards to him. Yep. So let me just go ahead and just double check my live chat just to make sure if there's going to be any final comments. So just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing any final comments, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in about like 1 minute because there's not really more for me to say in regards to this live stream. So thankfully, I've already said my piece when it comes to this film review. So yeah, but all I can really say as of right now is in regards to this film, I would say go try to give this movie or this film a watch, I would say it's worth this. So the one last thing that I'm going to be saying as of right now is I would highly recommend that you watch this film because I would say it's in between either decent or good. So that's one thing that I want to say in regards to this film. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream because I've already said what I had to say. But anyways, thank you for watching this dope live stream that I was currently doing now. So give this live stream a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next upcoming live stream. Bye, everyone.